Good evening and welcome to News Geelong. As we're opening at a different place tonight, we're down at the Founders Green of the Highton Bowling Club. Yes, founded in 1958 and enjoying the sunshine, although it's a bit cool with that southerly breeze behind us. Got a great program lined up for you tonight. More discussions about the directly elected mayor coming our way. Votes having to be in by November 23rd. So don't forget, once you receive your votes, to get them numbered in the box 1 through 16 and return to the Victorian Electoral Commission. Weather-wise, we'll have a look at Geelong and the Surf Coast weather over the next 6 days. And in the world of sport, you're right, we'll be down at Division 1 Bowls, the game between Highton and Port Arlington. We'll cover the local Geelong Cricket Association Division 1, day 1 of this particular round between the Mergibullock Frogs and Leopold. And of course, much more in the world of sport. But to open tonight's program, we go to Ian Nichols, who's having a talk with one of the 16 candidates associated with the directly elected mayor of the City of Greater Geelong. He's a former mayor, Mr. John Mitchell.
One of the achievements of John Mitchell in his time as mayor was to get the go-ahead, the green light for this magnificent library complex, which is now about to start. This is the old library, of course, just an empty shell. But you can't say that about John Mitchell. He's a man who's got plenty to say, and he wants to be the publicly elected mayor. We're talking with John Mitchell about his plans. Well, there's an old expression, John, once bitten, twice shy, but you're not daunted by this?
No, not at all, Nico. No one's ever called me shy before, and I'm certainly not that. I'm happy to put my hand up and put my hat in the ring. I believe in my 4 years as mayor and 2 years as deputy mayor and 2 years as council, I think that experience is certainly needed to take charge of the helm and run the city and push it along in the direction it needs to be pushed along in.
Well, we know that under your leadership, back-to-back mayoral efforts were fantastic. We had a lot of progress in that time, including the Geelong Library, which we see behind us now, just an empty shell, but it was one of your dreams, wasn't it?
Oh, there's no doubt that the Library Heritage Centre is certainly one of the jewels in the crown of the city, or will be. And, libraries aren't just places to loan books anymore. They're community centres in themselves, early learning, they're places for the elderly, they're places for people to come along and meet people and do their business. And the Heritage Centre, we've got tremendous heritage in Geelong, and some of our heritage is stored in containers in Ballarat. So we needed to have that on display, and we need to be proud of where we've come from. And this is just one of the reasons that we went down this track, and it'll also create employment, and all that sort of thing. So it's just a great piece of Geelong's history being built.
Well, we know this happened under your watch, John, and obviously, in your case, a bit of unfinished business, perhaps.
There's no doubt about that. There's some other things like the Geelong Ring Road Employment Precinct, and I was happy to see today that the Labor opposition have come out and said a couple of things that we've been trying to get going. The Geelong Ring Road Employment Precinct for a manufacturing hub, that's a perfect place for it. The ring road to the Ballerine, which wasn't on the books until I come along, to be quite truthful. I see that as the long-term solution to the city traffic, and we've pushed hard for that. There's $200,000 put into it to do an examination. Now the opposition has said if they get elected, they'll put $4 million in it and put the route down. So these are things that we started, and they're things that I want to see finished.
Well, you obviously see a bright future for Geelong. You always have, and you're having another tilt, and this time perhaps go one better.
Well, the whole thing about all of this for me, Nico, is Geelong's not going that bad. Geelong's the 11th largest city in Australia. We're certainly there's certainly some problems, but our employment, and I'd love to work harder on that. But the city itself, the region, it's not just Geelong CBD, and people get it's the Ballerine Peninsula, it's Lara, it's Anarchy, it's the north and southern suburbs, it's the eastern suburbs. We've got to look after everyone. We can't just be city-centric. Roads, rates and rubbish, they're a big thing for people, and we've certainly got to keep them under control. So, that's part of my platform, employment, roads, rates and rubbish. And if elected, I do believe we can have a hard waste rubbish collection just on the side. So, I think that's something that's achievable. So I'm experienced. I've learned from the experience of the past. I certainly want to bring that experience back. And if elected, I'll work hard. You know that.
Well, you've had a little bit of time out, and that gives you time to reflect on the good times and I guess some of the bad times too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Nico. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, and I haven't done that for 10 months. I can tell you, I certainly slept better when I wasn't the mayor. But look, I'm full of energy, I'm full of beans. I do believe that I have the experience, and I have worked with most of the councillors before, and that's what it's all about. And I certainly love another tilt at it, for sure.
You can't beat experience, can you?
Well, I don't think you can, but especially in this, we've gone down the path of the inexperienced businessman coming in, thinking they can do this, that and the other. You've got to know the systems. You've got to know how to work with the people to get things done. And, there's no doubt I was able to get things done. You know, we've grown up as a city. We're certainly well known in Canberra. We're well known up the road at the state government. But, we've got to work hard for our community and our whole community, not just a small percentage of it.
Well, one of the other things I'm sure you'd like to get done, John, is to get Thomson Football Club back on track and a power in the Geelong Football League, GDFL.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I copped a bit of flack over spending a couple of $1 million on the Godfrey Street Reserve. What wasn't told in all of this was the fact was that the Thomson Reserve sits in between 2 primary schools, 1 kindergarten, an elderly citizens facility, a daycare centre, and, all those people use that facility. We've now got Coringal coming over to use the facility, so that is that suburbs community centre. We're building a community centre in Ocean Grove that cost $10 million. The community centre at Thomson has cost $2 million. We've improved the sporting facilities for sure, but we've also improved women's sport out there. We've put walking tracks in for the elderly and the young. I'm super proud of it. It was master planned. It took 8 years to do, and I just think that if people look at it, it's not the football club. If the money went into the football club, they'd win every premiership, and that hasn't happened. But it's about the community centre. We've actually built a youth centre on the back of it. So we're trying to do something for the youth of the area. So, I know I copped a bit of flack over it, but, I was a sport and recreation portfolio holder. I looked after East Geelong, I looked after Newcombe, I looked after Thomson, I looked after St Albans. These people that use these facilities, male and female, young and old, it's a credit to the council that they've upgraded the facilities in all of Geelong, and we have now the best facilities anywhere in Victoria. So I'm really proud of that. There's no doubt about it. You've got to look after the grassroots, and that's where I come from. You've got to have a big picture as well, but I certainly look after the grassroots and always have and always will.
Well, given that scenario, John, you'd expect the sporting clubs to get right behind you in your quest.
Well, one would be hopeful that did happen, because the council that I was the mayor of for 4 years certainly looked after, the community clubs in Geelong. And, I'd love to think that they'd certainly get behind me and support me.
At the site of the old Geelong Library and Heritage Centre, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thanks very much to Ian Nichols and also to former Councillor John Mitchell. This is News Geelong on this Friday evening. Don't forget, you can always follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, and follow your favourite segments on YouTube, uploaded after each Friday night's program is presented on Channel 31 Digital 44. We're going to a break and be back with more news after this.